Well, I decided, to record this video because, I just had enough of, 2025, right? I mean, we are almost halfway into 2025 and I decided, to make it early, right? 2025 has been going really crazy lately, right? And I'm starting to hate this year a lot because a lot of things are just getting exposed, right? 2025 just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier, right? Well, yeah, we know that because, just based on, the sunlight, because we have the longest, sunlight, as of, living in the United States of California. Guess what, they already sent me a message saying that, oh, we're halfway through the year. We're still more than a week from, officially, 6 months into this year, and a lot of crazy thing has been going on, right? I feel like 2025 is just another 2020, except it's an upgrade version of 2020, right? Everybody's saying, 2020 is gonna be by far the worst year, but 2020 was just the beginning, right? I feel like it's 2020 all over again because both 2020 and 2025 end starts with the WTF, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the first 3 days, right? Seems like what the F, right? So yeah, man, I think 2025 is gonna be the most hated year because of politics, right? Donald Trump is he's just a big asshole, man. Doesn't know how to run the country, right? I don't know, but he's the stupidest president, that downplayed, COVID and everything. And somehow it's still surprised. Everybody who strongly dislike Trump or hate Trump, yeah, this is why a lot of people's gonna hate me now, or probably gonna hate you because we have to talk into, politics, right? Now, even Trump supporters are now, turning against Trump, right? I guess that was the reason why 2020 and 2025 is hated, right? Have Donald Trump problem, right? You know what just happened just yesterday, man? Yesterday, Donald Trump bombed Iran. I'm like, oh God, we don't know what's gonna happen in the next few months. I don't know what's 2025 shit is, man. 2025 is turning this world into a shithole, man. And now, we're in a circus, man. We're getting controlled by clowns. We're getting run by a clown, man. The entire circus show, man. I'm like, there's nothing that will ever surpass. I thought that there's no year that will ever surpass 2020, but nope, I was wrong and I was being a fucking idiot, right? Now, 2025 is probably gonna be much worse than 2020, and there's other year that's gonna be even way worse than 2025, right? I'm scared of 2025. I did not want that year to come, but it came anyway, right? I shouldn't be greedy, and pray for truth, and should have stayed in 2020, even though I hate that year the most, right? I wish we just live in 2020 forever, right? I'd rather deal with that than, deal with this stupid 2025, right? And other years are all gonna get worse, right? Man, and war records just keep breaking, left and right? And humans just get crazier and crazier, man. I'm like, yeah, because mainly that was the biggest reason why 2025 is gonna be, a chaotic year, man, because of Donald Trump, right? I figure I don't want Kamala Harris either, but this is why I cannot support any side, right? I cannot support any, president candidate or anything. Just a waste of money, and we just live in the most corrupted government, right? Now, U.S. supposed to be the #1 country. Now, they go attack other country, right? To stop the fight, right? I'm just not too much into politics, but I don't know what's going on, like people are just acting like a damn child, man. I just want that bum out of the office, right? and just find a legit leader, right? I figure Trump is not going to make life any better. I thought he would, but he doesn't, right? He's just there, you know, to do all his nonsense. People are sick of his nonsense already, right? So, yeah, man. Well, thank those idiots, those pathetic, you know, no-headed idiots, you know, or shithead, you know, that just voted, you know, for this, you know, piece of garbage, piece of dumbhead garbage, right? And we got still racism going on, right? Goodness, man. I feel like 2020 is a racist year, but here's still another racism going on, right? Racism is going on for like years after years after years. People, I feel like people, you know, have, you know, Alzheimer or something. They feel like they're just still living in the past when still living in the present, right? People don't live in reality anymore. A lot of people are becoming way more delusional. We set, you know, really way high, you know, expectation that we'll never meet, and we still meet them anyway, and we still blow them out, right? It's just a crazy world we live in, man. 2025 just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier, right? I bet the next few years is gonna be much tougher, right? We're tired of the inflation, right? Man, oh man. We are getting closer to World War III, right? Yeah, we're just getting closer and closer and closer. I think that's what's probably going to be by far way worse than COVID, man. Something worse is World War III, right? Nothing. We're just scared of, you know, nuclear war now, right? Ukraine's still fighting with Russia, right? The protests going on, right? Oh, I know. That's another thing of, you know, like why, you know, a lot of people are now, you know, why this country is now getting fucked up because now there's protests, right? Well, don't blame me, man. I didn't vote, right? So you cannot blame me, right? You know, I have nothing to do with this, right? So don't get mad at me, right? Just get mad, you know, Donald Trump, right? Oh my goodness, yeah, there's protests going on. This is 2025 is just another 2020, man. That's how it feels like, right? It's like repeat. Well, except, you know, we're not social distancing. That's the biggest difference, right? But even that, you know, except there's no COVID around. But then, you know, now we're probably going to get new virus in the next few years. I wouldn't be surprised, right? We keep having new virus after virus after virus. Godly, man. Like, what is this, man? Like, now we have more new creatures coming to our planet and destroying the hell out of us. And then, you know, the clowns are beating our ass, right? I'm like, I thought the clown, you know, will tie, you know, when it comes to competition or fighting, but the clowns are just like dominating, man. And also in sport, we have so many fucking ass blowouts, man. It's just crazy, man. This is just too crazy, man. Getting beat down and beat up like left and right. Just crazy, man. And protests, right? Yeah, I remember there was protests, you know, during COVID, but now, you know, it's protests again because of, you know, illegal migration, right? I get it, you know, like some people just vote for that. I get it because they want to protect their country. They want no alien, right? I feel sorry, you know, for the illegal immigrant that has to deal with this kind of fucking shit. You know, people who don't deserve this, right? Those innocent people that have never done anything wrong, right? And for the people, you know, who did something wrong, maybe they deserve it, right? But god damn, it's just causing protests, right? I get like why, you know, they hate the word ICE, right? It's something has to do with the immigration, right? Just imagine, you know, you have a friend or you have a family, you know, that is an illegal immigrant, and then, you know, Trump deported them, or US just have to deport them, right? And they get arrested just because of that, right? It just feel like it's causing a lot of controversy and problems, right? Now, we're going US, and then, next few years is going to be even crazier because, of the AI system, right? And also, because, people are taking advantage of technology now, they use it, to scam more people, right? So yeah, we have the Los Angeles wildfire. I don't know what else is going on, right? I know that Iran and Israel, country, these two countries just fight each other, right? After Hamas, after Hamas, ended the war versus the Hamas, terrorism, ended versus Israel. I think now Iran wants to fight, right? I think that's exactly what's going on. I don't know exactly, but then this idiot Trump, had to do something unnecessary, just to cause more problem, right? I don't know what he's trying to do there, man. Now we just keep having stupid ass war going on, It's because of we've been run by idiots, man, and clowns. So, right? And people, do not want to, be held to a standard, right? It's just getting tiring, man. And how the rich and the poor just getting bigger and bigger because the rich just use more money to buy more power, right? And inequality gap will never catch up. It would just keep growing bigger and bigger. That's what I meant, right? Yeah, and also, everything is just getting exposed, right? And now because, I've been watching lots of YouTube lately, there's just a lots of scammers out there, man. Right? Yeah, scamming's been going on. Scamming's not only ask for money, but they ask you in a different way, right? Sometimes, they work, for a certain company, and company doesn't want to benefit anything. They just sell you a product that does nothing to you except, harm you in a way, right? The company make, false advertisement and all stuff. I'm getting tired, of these, people, right? All they want is just your money, right? That's why they're scamming you, right? They just want you to buy the products. And I've been seeing a lot more, bodybuilder. That's a good thing. But then a lot of bodybuilders are now fake, right? As I watch from the sport fitness rant guy, right? There is a lot of, bodybuilders that are not natty, right? Yeah, lots of fake bodybuilders, that just inject themselves with steroid that they look so fucking like huge. They're like 2 times my size, but then, they don't have a really good health. And this is why they keep dying early, right? By the time they get to like 30, 40, like boom, they're gone. Just like that. In the snap of the finger, man. Snap of a finger. So yeah, there's just a lot of fake people out there, man. I thought LeBron James was the greatest player of all time, but then he gets now exposed, right? The media can have to keep lying after lying, and I am a LeBron fan, Yeah, LeBron fans are literally the worst human being that ever existed, man. And now LeBron's getting exposed, right? And this is why I have to be honest about this guy, right? Even though I like him a lot, right? It's time, to stop these fucking narratives, stop fucking lie, right? And just say the truth, right? This guy's nowhere near MJ, right? And lots of things just get exposed, right? Favorite athletes and all that stuff, right? Man, and I'm getting exposed as well, This is why a lot of people don't fucking respect me, or don't fucking like or love me, right? Now I know why, a lot of people dislike me for no reason, right? Well, obviously I'm a fraud, right? I've been seeing a lots of weird things out of nowhere for no reason, right? And I just see so many people break so many numerous world record, right? Now, we see Mans, break the half marathon record, the 300 hurdles. It's like every single little event, right? It feels like every day, a world record is going to get breaking, right? I'm like, I get it, there's like so many billion people, but maybe because human just gotten so much stronger, or either just technology, or either it's both. Like, this is how fucking crazy this world is, right? It's so unbelievable. And this is getting embarrassed, right? Man, I'm just getting embarrassed every time I get beaten so badly, right? I keep saying, I keep telling everybody, saying that, I was born with a depleted body because I have autism, right? There's just one thing, that really annoys me, man. So people with autism, people without, disability or handicap, whatever that is, you never live my lifestyle. So don't ever, criticize my opinion or judgment here, right? Don't you fucking ever do that. Because you never live it my way, right? You never know how tough I'm living in, right? If I didn't have a stupid depleted body or never born with autism, I would have been way more successful than today, right? And I wish 2020 never existed, right? I probably would have a much better life right now, right? But stupid 2020 had to exist. Stupid God gave me a stupid depleted body, and stupid, and then we have a stupid Trump, that don't know how to run the country, right? I hate it when people blame me for all the problems, that was causing, right? Stop blaming me. Stop saying that I'm the problem, right? Why don't you look some other factor, and say they are the problem, right? I never want to cause problem in the first place, right? You punk heads, right? I just cannot believe it, man. Why do I get blamed for everything, right? And that's why I'm so fucking pissed off, right? People are holding me, to a much higher standard than everyone else, right? It's just so biased and just so fucking unfair, right? Some people are just treating me unfairly, right? For no reason, and I never did anything wrong. Man, fuck out of here, man. What the fuck, right? And now they're happy seeing that, 2020 and 2025 is beating the shit out of me, right? I thought the 2020 records never get breaking, not in the next century, but it's already breaking within a few years. It's just not possible, man. And I cannot believe that, I have a depleted body, a damn ran almost sub 5-minute mile. You can watch the previous videos, see that my fastest mile that I ever ran was 5:07. I have not sub a 5:10 mile for almost 5 years, right? It's been at least 3 or 4 years, that I have not run 1 mile all out in less than 5 minutes and 10 seconds, right? I've been making so many fucking mistakes, so many this and that, right? I mean, yeah, I've been making plenty fucking mistakes, that I could have run faster, right? So yeah, talk about when it comes to running, and when it comes to trying to make my body stronger, I say that it's probably a D- or probably F, right? I would say I give myself a grade D, so as of so far, right? To be generous, right? If I get a B or A right now, then I would have sub 5-minute mile already, right? With this stupid fucking depleted body, right? I thought depleted bodies should never run a mile in the 6 minutes. I told everybody, say that I will never run a mile in under 6 minutes. If I just let my body control do whatever the hell I want, right? I hate it when people say that I'm the problem, right? Just by removing me out of this body and just let my body do whatever I want, I say no chance in hell sub 6-minute mile. But now, I'm running a mile in almost sub 5-minute mile, and things did not went perfect, right? Dealing with, stupid ass injuries and all that stuff, right? This is why I give myself a D as of so far, right? I say D to be generous. I could give myself an F, right? Just take care of the body as a D- is just crazy, man. Crazy. So if there was no mistake that I ever make so far, there's just no way a depleted body can run a mile in under 6 minutes, right? I thought it would take at least 7 or 8 minutes, I put very high expectation myself, and to the depleted body, like way much lower expectation, right? A depleted body, it's being the living shit out of people, man. It's just crazy, man. Now we see, handicapped people, that are doing way more, that achieve way more, accomplishment when it comes to physical activity than, regular people, that has, really good health, right? I'm living in a world that just makes no sense, right? It's just crazy, man. Right? I just don't believe it, man. How the hell last year, I run, almost a 6-minute mile, right? And now, close to a sub 5-minute mile. This is just crazy, man. Right? You don't even live in the future, so stop predicting, what the future will look like, right? Just people are just getting way more intelligent, and a lot more people are calling me retarded and stupid, right? Yeah, I am a stupid person because I have a depleted body, right? That doesn't want to work, right? And now because my depleted body is just exposing me, that's why I hate my body so much, right? I just hate living in this type of life. I just want to get out of this body, at the end of the day. I just want to pray to God, right? Stupid God just punish me, put me into, this depleted, pathetic body that doesn't do anything, right? And now all of a sudden, my depleted body's been acting so weird lately, man. It's been acting so weird. Like, how can it able to do this and that, right? Do way more than I expected, right? It's crazy, man. Crazy world we live in. I should be running much faster than the depleted body. But no, it's the other way around. The depleted body is way faster than me, right? I remember. Yeah, I don't know exactly what was my mile time last year, but it was around, yeah, I can, okay, it's definitely sub 6-minute mile, right? Well, slightly sub 550, but not quite sub 540, right? Mile time is somewhere between 540 to 550 or something like that, right? And then, 1 year later, all of a sudden now my body can run, close to a sub 5-minute mile, right? Now it's sub 510. So just only 7 seconds away, right? People don't know that my brain's actually depleted already. It's like a zombie, right? That's how dumb it is. Some bodies are even weaker than a fucking zombie, and then, I feel like we live in the apocalypse. That's what it is, right? A body is just as weak as a zombie, out of nowhere, and now can take down a really full-grown, healthy human, right? Or can even, knock out a body, can be a bodybuilder in a fight, right? It's just that's how crazy the world has been, right? Now we get a new species, a new virus strain, and all that stuff, right? All these, I feel like, aliens are gonna take over the world, right? I think that's probably what's gonna be worse than Donald Trump or World War III, right? One thing is just alien, right? We need to go and drop a nuclear bomb, on the alien planet, or either that I just want to go live in another planet. Maybe my life will be much better there. So that way I don't have to deal with these fucking idiots, that are so tired of me, right? I know there's lots of fucking dumbasses, that's tired of me. You know what, man? If I live on another planet, I don't have to see your fucking, pathetic face ever again, right? Your ugly ass face, right? Yeah, so many people treat me unfairly, right? And also this makes me happy why Trump is in the office, right? For those who are not nice to me, guess what? I hope Trump makes your life a piece of fucking hell, man. Right? I hope Trump deports you out, right? So that way I don't have to see your face ever again, right? So, yeah, I wish Trump gets rid of people, that don't like me or that don't care about me, right? now, like, it's just I'm getting weirder and weirder, and people still forgive me, right? It's just so weird. And then, there's some people in my family that don't even care about me, right? Trump should just deport, whoever they want. Deport, people I don't like. So I hope Trump do that. So that way I will forgive Trump, right? Please get rid of these bad people, man. That's all you have to do, Trump, right? And then you'll be the best president ever, right? But no, this maniac just does whatever he wants, and just, man, Trump is just getting us into a lot of trouble, right? Some people got into a lot of trouble because of this guy, man, right? And now, he's just a puppet, he was just put there, to clean, somebody else's mess that I don't want to mention about, right? The previous president, right? The 46th president, right? Yeah, we just have to run, get new president, clean up this and that, and then create more mess, right? We'll just never get out in the mess, right? Never, man. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think the biggest goal that will really get me real pissed off, man, and that will really make me go crazy like a bazooka monkey, is that, a woman will sub a 4-minute mile, right? Some running record has not been beaten for like nearly 3 fucking decades, and now, now we're gonna see a woman in first time history. I know that males are way stronger than women, right? And now, we're probably gonna see a woman sub a 4-minute mile, right? It's fucking crazy. Just like a few months ago, a fucking 15 years old just sub a 4-minute mile, right? A 15 years old didn't even went to his 16th birthday. This makes no sense. Like, how can a woman, run as fast as a 15 years old? It doesn't make any sense, right? The best woman running as, I know women are pathetic and weak, and they will never dominate males, right? I want a female president, but then, Trump just boom, just, slightly, overcome, Kamala Harris, right? And, Hillary Clinton, right? Feels like since, 2015 has ended, now we're 10 years into this little shithole. 26 things has not been better ever since 2016 has started. That's just my honest opinion, man. Right? Yeah, I remember, humans are so disgraced against women, but now, now women, really want to gain more power, Now they're gonna go sub 4-minute mile. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy how, a sub 4-minute mile was not even 100 years ago. It was just 70 years ago. I don't think a woman will ever sub a 4-minute mile. Well, maybe not now, but if it happens before 2025, damn, I am going to go ape shit, man. I'll go so crazy that I'll even act like 100 billion times crazier than the wild monkey, right? There's no way a woman can run from a 407 minutes per mile to a sub 4 minutes. This is not it, man. This is not possible. You have to shave off nearly 8 seconds, right? Just no way possible, man. No way. I'm like, most women can barely sub a 430 mile. How can they sub a 4-minute mile, right? Oh, it makes perfectly a lot of sense, A depleted, beat up body, wear and tear out body, with, disability, Or now we see handicapped people that can still run, run like as if they were fucking sprinting, right? It's ridiculous, how they can still sprint a mile, right? That makes perfectly sense. How a woman can sub a 4-minute mile, right? I mean, women are not depleted body, right? Depleted body are way weaker than women's, right? Now it makes perfectly sense. If a depleted body gets stronger, then of course everyone else should be way stronger than the depleted body, right? And now I said that, man, I think 2025 might be my first year, I seen a depleted body runs a sub 5-minute mile, right? If that happens, then that means a woman should not surprisingly, finish a mile or run a mile in less than 4 minutes, right? That should not be surprising. And there's only like very few women that even sub 2 minutes for 800 meters. I'm like, how can you hold that for like twice the distance, right? Running for, for twice amount distance at your race pace is really hard. I tried it so many times and it never worked, right? And it takes years after years, to do it, right? I don't think a woman will sub 4 minute mile, but it's gonna happen regardless. I think it's gonna happen within the next, 10 or maybe 5 years, but it's just not gonna happen in 2025. I don't think it's gonna be this crazy, right? Well, if it happened in 2020, man, 2020 is gonna go down this. 2020 has to be the craziest year in history, man. People have to talk this on news. Like nobody's talking about how to. I feel like I know why people don't want to talk about 2020 or 2025 is the worst year ever. Nope, there's other years that's probably worse than that. Now I'm probably looking in the future, right? Seeing 2025 may not 2025 record is not gonna last very long. It's gonna get beaten with a few years. Oh, and other years gonna overcome it, right? Man, just more new challenges and more new problems, man. This is why I just don't want time to go forward anymore, man. Right? I just want to remain as 2025, right? Because other years are not going to get easier and it's only going to get much worse, right? I guess 2025 just totally exposed 2020, right? Now a depleted body can run as fast as and beat even your 2020 record, even using just a depleted body, right? God can just give me a depleted body and now I can beat my running record in 2020, right? A lot of people were never able to reach 2020 milestone of what I did in 2020, right? So yeah, and I thought that 2020 was LeBron's best championship, since there's no audience, there's no crowd, there's nothing, right? But then 2020 is just a bubble championship. Nobody ever respects it, right? Because they just play against nobody. They just play in just in Disney World. It's just like you're playing in an empty gym. That's with just like nothing against you, right? And just no pressure, nothing, right? And there's no challenges, right? And just extra rest. So that's why nobody respects LeBron's ring, right? I thought LeBron just won everything legitimately, but then he's just been on super teams, man. Like super team era, right? Oh my god, this is ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous, like how like I have to cheat on everything, because everything is unfair and I still lose by a lot at the end of the day. And people still beat me like crazy, man. Still beat me on the landslide like crazy, and I cheated, and that's just now this is why I get exposed, right? All the cheaters are now getting exposed, right? They have significant amount of advantage and they still lost in the landslide, to the one that are significant disadvantage and all that stuff, right? It's just getting crazier and crazier and crazier, right? This is why I cannot talk properly, because of my stupid depleted body that doesn't want my brain to develop, right? You never have a depleted body, so this is why you can never make a judgment of what I can make, right? Your body is way more better than my body, right? Yeah, I never did anything wrong. It's God that's causing all this problem, in this fucking planet, right? This is why I want to leave this planet, And I just rather live in hell than rather live in the real life, Right? I was always at a highly disadvantage, right? I never had help. I never got disadvantage. I never do this and that, right? This is why, I just want some people, go back to their boring life, right? Now the life is even way more boring because, now, Trump is this. I know the United States is the most powerful country, and now now you have this clown running this country, and now now we get the clown run the world. If the clown takes over the #1 supreme country, then everything else turns into a clown show, right? Oh man. Yep. This is why I hate this fucking planet, and people think I'm a fucking psychopath. No, I'm not. I don't want to live in the circus, right? You know a clown is controlling you, every single one of you, right? You know that, right? Now the clown has more power than any of us could ever imagine in our sleep, right? Well, I'm kind of happy at the same time, the clown is here, so destroy all motherfuckers, right? I'm just so done with this world. I'm just so done with 2025. I am so done living this 2020 decade area, right? I'm just so done. If World War III happened and there's all nuclear war, I'm just happy, We just have to end this, right? And there are no more problems ever, right? And then we can have a peaceful world, right? Can't wait for peaceful to come, right? Man, 2025 is just ridiculous, man. Honestly.